I'd like to talk to you about Autism Speaks. Autism Speaks has courted an awful lot of controversy, especially online, and I personally don't support Autism Speaks, and I'm going to explain in this video why. In order for a company or organisation to be designated charity status, they have to give a percentage of their income to charitable causes. Now, the percentage of this that actually has to reach the people that they're campaigning for is very, very low, in some cases 10 or 11%. The salary bill per year of Autism Speaks is over $18 million. The amount of money that goes to the causes that they support is only $2 million. That to me was a big red flag. When you delve deeper into this, you discover that their tactics and their techniques for advertising, promoting, fundraising are very aggressive and not at all helpful to people with autism. First and foremost, Autism Speaks believes that autism is a clinical condition that needs to be cured, like cancer or diabetes. And in fact, they're spending an awful lot of the money that is donated to them on clinical research in order to develop a cure. So much of those salaries, so much of that $18 million goes to scientists who are basically working in a lab looking for a cure for autism. Now, I've never met anybody who has autism who wants to be cured. Indeed, autism is something which makes you who you are. I talked about this in my introduction video, that autism is part of you as a person. So to be campaigning to find a cure doesn't really sit right with me, because I feel that by curing people, you're identifying that they have an illness or a disease that they want to get rid of, like cancer or diabetes, which is for the most part not the case. Secondly, I find that their tactics and their method for fundraising are based on fear, are based on, in some ways, ableism, and are most certainly based on making people feel bad for people who have autism, which again, as an autistic person, this is not what we want. What they don't do is engender a support process. What they don't do is promote treatment and support for people who have autism, not to make them cured of autism or make them better. That's not what we want. We want treatment and therapy in order to make our lives easier to manage. So that's another reason why I don't feel comfortable with Autism Speaks. I think all awareness is really good. I think the blue ribbon, the jigsaw piece, does have a lot of positivity because it does promote awareness of autism, which is never a bad thing, but it's what the underlying reasons for these symbols are. It's the aggression, the fear-mongering, and what I feel the wrong approach to autism treatment. I don't get offended by somebody who uses uses the jigsaw symbol to represent autism. I prefer the infinity logo, which is what this channel is identified by. I don't have a problem with people who, say light it up blue, because all this stuff is awareness. But I think if you are using those symbols, if you are promoting light it up blue or the blue ribbon or the jigsaw piece, just have a little bit of look into what the basis of these symbols are. Have a little bit of a look into what Autism Speaks actually do and how many people are actually happy with their services. I'm no doubt whatsoever that they probably help countless people, countless families to have a better life, but an $18 million per year salary versus a $2 million per year fund give doesn't really sit right with me, and I don't think this is an organisation which I would like to get behind. There are, however, many other organisations that do a much better job and who look towards family help, family support, activities for families. I'm going to mention all those in another video, and I think we should really pull together as a community and look at supporting those instead of Autism Speaks, who really are quite a hateful and quite a negative organisation. Any questions, any queries, drop them down in the comments. I don't want to end these videos with like, subscribe, comment, click the bell, but that kind of stuff does help with the algorithm, and it will make this YouTube channel grow. My other social media channels have grown quite rapidly, but I think YouTube is really going to be the new place for me, because it gives me a chance to really talk at length and go into detail of things. 60 seconds not enough for me to tell you what I want for dinner, because I use a lot of words when I don't necessarily have to. So let's try and promote YouTube as much as we can. I'd really appreciate it. I set up the Patreon again if you want to buy me a cup of coffee. I've invested quite a lot of money into starting this YouTube channel. I've bought equipment and lighting and software to do the editing and that kind of thing. So I'd really appreciate it if you could just chip in the same amount of money as what a Starbucks coffee is, a little bit less if you live in a posh area where Starbucks is ridiculously expensive. If you don't, that's fine. I haven't monetized this channel. There's no adverts on the channel. It's completely, totally, and utterly free to anybody that wants to watch it. I'm not ever going to monetize the channel, and I'm not ever going to put adverts in the middle of videos. If there are any adverts, like I said before, they're nothing to do with me. They've been put there by YouTube, and I'm not making any money from them. So the Patreon is a nice little way for you to support me, but no pressure.